What's up YouTube, this is Fate, bringing you another deck profile, and today I'm going to be showing you my Blackwing deck. Ever since Premium Gold Return of the Blade came out, I've been tinkering with this old deck again, trying out stuff to do support with it, trying some fun new strategies, and turned this into a fun deck that has its normal surprising plays on top of some crippling control plays that can send your opponent packing. And without further ado, let's get to the profile. For starters, to start off any Blackwing engine, we start off with Triple Gale. Fun little guy, halves your opponent's attacks and defense permanently on top of being able to special himself out, and he's a tuner. There's a really good reason why this guy was limited to 1 at one point. Then, speaking of which, pretty much the same reason, Triple Kalut. The honest of the Blackwing deck, almost a fool not to run this guy to 3. Although if you are planning to run more of a speed variant of the deck, where you want to be a little more reckless for speed rather than protective power, then I guess you could get away with running him at 2, but otherwise for most builds, gotta run him at 3. And for other 3-ofs slash speed, we run Triple Bora. Just like Gale, if you control another Blackwing on board, you can special summon himself. And he's the piercer of the build, been a staple since he's come out. And then for the last 3-of, I run Triple Shura. At first I was debating on whether to cut him down to 2. I realized there are a lot of profiles online cutting Shura down to 2 lately. But the only reason why I left him at 3 is he is that presence on the board that your opponent doesn't want to deal with so often. It might take up a turn worth of plays, but your opponent does react to Shura being on board, and they do react with their spells and traps, clearing the way for your other guys. Next to the 2-ofs, we run double Kris the Crack of Dawn. If I wanted to go for a more reckless variant and no less trying to bait out your opponents and using their spells and traps, I would up this guy to 3 and drop Shura down to 2. But so far, 1900 beater, special summons just like Bora or Gale, and the fact that he can't be destroyed by effects once per turn, awesome card to use. Then for the other 2-of, I run 2 Blizzard the Far North. Definitely Blackwings have sped up a little bit to where Blizzard is not needed at 3 anymore. 3 gets really clogging the deck, and it really does disrupt your own plays if you run them anymore at 3. But it does get those level 6 synchro plays off at very key times during the game. And then for the 1-ofs, one Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. Really good bouncer to facilitate your own plays, including if you want to swap out your own field a little bit or take advantage. One Oroshi Squall. Just a nice, fun little special summoner, level 1 tuner to toolbox. Sometimes does have some very key plays in this build. And one Pinaki, the Waking Moon. And Pinaki has a fun, I want to say, X-Saber Dark Soul effect, if you want to put it that way, that allows him to search for other Blackwing monsters later. And just makes him a good key card to set up your next play. That's it for the monster count. On to the spells. We run Triple Black Whirlwind, Searcher of the build, have to. Triple Mystical Space Typhoons. Blackwings, like I said, is a little more reckless offensive build, period, in a way. So you're going to want to pack up your, or bulk up your MSTs to make sure your Blackwings are a little more protected. And on the same side of protection, Double Lance. And then for the 1-ofs, I run 1 Soul Charge, 1 Mind Control, plenty of tuners in the build to steal your opponent's monsters, very fun plays to be used with Mind Control. Allure of Darkness, good draw engine for dark monsters, and the Pyromancer Geki. That's it for the spells. On to the traps. And this is more of a just for fun, casual thing that I like to do that has actually won me some games in the past. But I run double Black Sonic and double Delta Kuro anti-reverse. Now granted, I'm going to be getting some comments right away saying Why are you using more consistent trap cards? Why are you still using Delta Crow? It's dead against some of the higher builds of the format. Blah, blah, blah. This is more of a casual playing deck. I'm just going to realize that right now. But at the same time, testing Blackwing's out against some of the higher up builds. Black Shock wrecks bigger plays more than Mirror Force does. And Delta Crow anti-reverse clears heavy back row boards in those close games. And these two have just won games in their own respects for me in the past, so I figure it warrants them at least playing at 2 each, just for a casual build. And if you want to make this more competitive and more up to the tournament format, then I would suggest things like subbing out one Delta Crow for Vanity's Emptiness, and maybe some more Effect Monster hate for the build. And then for the other two ofs in the trap lineup, we run double Icarus attack. Arguably the best 2-for-2 in the game. And double Fiendish Chain because, despite my trap choices, gotta run some Effect Monster hate at some point. And then for the standard 1-ups in my builds, run Bombless, Compulse, and Torrential Tribute. That is it for the main deck. On to the extra deck. Start off with the synchros. For the level 6, we've got one Armed Wing. Armed Wing is a very useful monster in his own right. However, he does not fit in quite as well with the speed plays as he used to, so I bumped him down to 1. But the other Blackwing level 6 that definitely benefits from the speed plays is Nothing the Starlight. And this guy definitely warps fields a little bit to your advantage when you're about to make that press over your opponent's walls. Especially when you can lower your opponent's monster attack by 800 points and deal that same amount in burn damage on top of gaining an extra summon per turn. And usually that extra summon is used for your Shura to make those heavier pushes to just take control of the field. Then for the level 7s, we run double Blackwing Armor Master. Blackwing decks Armor Master kind of go hand in hand. This guy has been key ever since he's come out for the Blackwing archetype. And then for the other level 7s, combo very nice with Armor Master. We've got Black Hawk Tamer, Obsidian Hawk Joe, and at first his effect is a little lackluster, but gain that extra special summon for some of your bigger Blackwings, especially with your Armor Master when you typically go into them first, get Hawk Joe out later, special summon Armor Master. It actually facilitates some very devastating rank 7 Xyz plays that can really mess up your opponent later on. And as just a general monster, he's a really good 2600 attack extra beater for when you're going for the push for game. And then to round out the level 7s, Black Rose, because who doesn't like blowing up stuff with Black Rose? Then for the two level 8s, kept it as simple as possible. One Stardust for protection, and one BL's because we've got a lot of dark monsters, dark tuners that make it extremely hard for your opponent to get over this guy. And then the one Leo, Keeper of the Sacred Tree, because Leo is just the best level 10 synchro out there to use right now for the TCG. And then we've got a few Xyz monsters. For the level 4, just kept it simple. The one Honor Arc, good for a little bit of a protective play and for that steal your opponent's special summon monster that you don't like on the field. Don't go into rank 4s too much, so you can toolbox this spot in a little bit. I chose Honor Arc because this is what I had. Otherwise I would toolbox other things in, like Sigil Castell, Sigil Laval Chain, Sigil Exciton, whatever preference you prefer on that one. Then for the rank 6, we use Photon Strike Bouncer. Strike Bouncer is becoming a little more prevalent because monster effects are starting to run a little more rampant in the game as of late. So this provides a little more added protection for my current Blackwing builds than most other rank 6s. And then for the two rank 7s, keep it standard, one Big Eye and one Dragossack to start taking control of the game, as well as turn some bad scenarios into your favor. And with that, that is my Blackwing deck profile. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And until next time.